Okay. Anyone have a question?
I have one. It's my understanding the water is purchased from Hemphill. You had mentioned the city manager. Does the water come from the city of Hemphill? And if so, is their water red also?
Don, would you like to make a comment?
I'm Don Isles, I'm the city manager, and we have had some slightly tinted water in town, but nothing like some of the photographs that I've seen out in distribution. What I can attest to is the water leaving the water plant is crystal clear. When we produce it at the plant, and I have samples since last Thursday, showed Jerry, water clarity is measured by turbidity. And but iron, if it is an iron problem, we're not 100% convinced it's all an iron problem. But if it is high iron, and their samples showed it was iron at the intake in Polygacho was high, we're going to treat that if that's the case. We pulled additional samples today. But as far as clarity leaving the plant is incapable of producing unclear water. We have automatic shutoffs and alarms that will shut the plant off if water reaches above a 0.3 NTU. That's the measurement for the clarity of the water. And we treat it for clarity and disinfection. And we deliver to GM there, and we send the same water out of the same tanks to the city of Hemphill. And we have some ideas of why the water's worse in GM, and we're not seeing that horrible water in town. But, you know, we don't know the actual cause for that. But to answer your question in short run, no, we're not seeing the real bad water.
Okay. So it appears, I'm a guy and I want to fix things. It just appears that the problem occurs after Hemphill is done with it.
What we're seeing, when we receive the water from Hemphill Supply, I agree with Don, it is crystal clear, but once we re-chlorinate or re-disinfect it, that's when it causes this red water to occur. Okay. We have to keep the disinfectant level to, proper state standards, elsewise we'd be in violation of that. TCEQ's opinion on this is an aesthetic issue. It only looks bad. I disagree. I mean, if it's ruining your clothes, it is a problem. But their position is it's an aesthetic issue only. But like I said, once we re-chlorinate it to take it further into the system, that's when the problem occurs.
Why are you re-chlorinating it?
You have to keep the disinfectant level further into the system.
Well, if they've already have they already done that when
Yes,
you buy it from them?
Yes, ma'am, they do, but we have to maintain a certain level into our system.
You get so many miles a line to go with. You gotta keep putting
It
chlorine.
loses its effectiveness, and we have to re-chlorinate to keep the residual up, and that's when the red starts.
And what's the condition of your piping?
Of our pipe,
Yes. What do they look like inside?
some of them look very bad.
Very bad.
I agree with you 100%.
So because they got to, when they cut a line, leave it in the mud and all that, and it picks that up, which I have observed.
Yes,
And
That's
there's a way to repair a line without taking in all kinds of crud in it, which I have seen with my own eyes happen with GM water. And you mentioned May the 5th.
15th.
15th?
Yes, sir.
I wrote down the 5th. Yeah. But anyway, it seems like to me there's been problems with that long time before May. That is yesterday. Man, that's been going on for
since last summer.
For how long? I don't
last
know.
Summer.
Years, actually.
Well, years.
In reality, but not to this extent.
That was my comment. I said to this extent. We've seen it before, but not to this extent.
What was done to try to stop it before then?
It would just eventually go away.
It tastes almost sewagey.
It smells sewagey. Yeah.
You can smell it.
I have a question. Did y'all lengthen the?
Would you like to see
where you
some
pull
water?
up?
Here, send that jar around. Let me give you a couple. That's just out of the water faucet today.
That looks pretty good.
That's pretty good.
An hour ago.
I drank that.
Comparatively.
That's over. brought some glasses, little shot glasses, if anybody wants to drink it.
Only way I drink it is put it in a cup you can't see through.
That's what
That way you
that
can't
comes
see
out
what
our
color
drinking
it is.
water.
Show them those pictures.
Did you link
So
the
that
pipe?
that test, that we can drink that,
Beg pardon?
that water there,
It's
it came out of our taps,
It's
it's
bad
drinkable?
water for a baby.
I'm not gonna repeat to you what TCEQ said.
and then they says yes?
They view it as only an aesthetic issue.
It's safe to drink, according to TCEQ.
The last sample they took out of my swimming pool, they said it was safe to drink.
I don't know about
That was May the 20th,
I believe,
June the 20th.
I believe what TCEQ says is not about our water. What TCEQ says is iron and manganese is not a health hazard. They're not talking about the levels in our water because they don't know yet. It's not done. That's what I heard today. And so that was that.
Was the line lengthened at Mid-Lake?
I can't hear but one.
Was the line lengthened at Mid-Lake to go into the lake when the lake was low last year? Was it lengthened there?
That was a city issue. That's not ours.
Could that be a problem maybe? Maybe we're sucking stuff off the bottom since the lake's came back up? Not pulling that intake anymore? I was just wondering, thinking that may be where it's coming from.
Last summer, well, first of all, I have a whole house filter. I bought it about 6 years ago. It worked fine. I back flush, forward flush every 2 weeks. Last summer, it became totally useless, and I assumed it was because of the low lake level. But that became totally useless, and it turns out it was a waste of money. So my problems began last summer, but the really serious stuff started, like you said, in May, about 2 months ago.
Yes, sir, I agree. We did have problems last summer, and we've had problems summer before.
That'd be like this water, about it being good to drink, like this. Old boy told me about these sprinkling septic systems.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, that's pure water, that is good." I said, have a sip, have a drink. That was the end of that conversation.
Sir, I agree with you. Listen,
Yeah.
just what you need to understand, I'm not arguing anything like what you good people are saying. I'm not
Where's one of
arguing.
them-
It is a legitimate call.
Where's
All
one of
I'm
them
saying is
Texas
that we
guys?
are making a legitimate effort to fix it.
Yeah.